Notre Dame recruiting fans, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad Hughesby, and today I'll be giving you guys the spring offensive target board. I'll probably do the defensive one tomorrow, or maybe the day after that, but we'll start with the quarterback position as we always do. This board has changed. Jackson Arnold, Nico Imaliva, two guys that were on this list now have left. Nico committed to Tennessee just a week ago, and Jackson Arnold committed to Oklahoma back in late January. But we have Chris Facina, Avery Johnson, and Dante Moore, three uncommitted guys that Notre Dame is still talking to. Avery Johnson is probably the least likely of the three to end up in the group. I think he stays in the Midwest or goes to the SEC. Notre Dame also has not made him that much of a priority, to tell you the truth. Fine player, but a little inaccurate. I'm just not sure if he's as good as Facina or Moore. But yeah, not really sure he ends up at Notre Dame. Christopher Facina, still a long shot, just like Johnson. I mean, I think he ends up down south or maybe at Ohio State. Clemson is definitely a school to know. Excuse my old prediction for Notre Dame and then my Michigan prediction for Moore also. I'll talk about that in a second. But Facina, Clemson, Ohio State, Bama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, few schools to know for him. Notre Dame, if they miss out on Moore, I think could cycle back to Facina, but this one's really looking like Notre Dame is all in on Moore, and I think they have reason to do so. I think Moore is a heavy Notre Dame lead. I think they're out by a wide margin. Like I just said with Facina, don't think anything of my old Michigan future cast pick. That pick is solely on Notre Dame if I had to make one today. Moore will be on campus Monday, March 28th and Tuesday, March 29th, which is just tomorrow, driving down to campus soon. I think this is the last visit he'll take before he commits to Notre Dame. He is scheduled to take a visit this Thursday to Ohio State. Not completely sure if he's going to take that. I really, really like Notre Dame here, but nothing's official yet. I just want to make that known. But Notre Dame is really hoping something becomes official in the near future. Running back / wide receiver. Running back wise, you have Jeremiah Love, Justice Haynes, Jaden Lamar, and Irvin. Cedric Irvin's committed, locked in. Love Steedland McCullough, Tommy Reese. No worries there. Jaden Lamar is probably the most likely to end up as the second running back. I think Notre Dame does end up taking two running backs in this class. UCLA, Michigan, Oregon are a few other to know with Lamar. Washington was the perceived leader for a while, but he did not include them in his top 9. Jeremiah Love just made it to campus. I think Notre Dame's in his top group, but Alabama and Michigan and Missouri are also up there. And then Justice Haynes. This is a Georgia legacy. I think he stays and plays in Athens, but Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame are also involved, but I think Notre Dame really needs to get him on campus for an official visit if they want to do anything here. Now, wide receivers. Rodney Gallagher on the bottom left just finished his basketball season. He's going to start planning some visits. I expect him at Notre Dame in the next few weeks. Has yet to come to campus. I think that changes. But Penn State, Pitt, Ohio State are also really involved here. Just landed an offer from Ohio State a little while ago, I believe. Penn State has offered and been one of his top schools for a long time. My pick is currently on the Nittany Lions, but a good visit to Notre Dame can change a lot here. And then Tyler Williams, Florida State, Florida, Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame are probably his top few. Have it on Clemson, took a visit there a few weeks ago, I think. But Williams, really need to get him on campus. Talented player. I think he's a top 60, 70 player in the country. But top 200 according to Rivals. We'll see what happens. Big 6'5", 6'4" guy, reminds me a lot of Chase Claypool. Just got to get him on campus for an official visit. Now the rest of the wide receivers. Of course, Connell Tate is in the top left. He's been the number one target for a very long time. My pick is currently on Ohio State. I think Tennessee's actually in a better spot than Notre Dame is, but Notre Dame is right in his top 3 alongside those two schools. I do think the Buckeyes have the edge. Brian Hartline, wide receiver coach of the Buckeyes, rarely misses out on his top guys. Braylon James is next. Stanford and Notre Dame are two schools far and away ahead here. Texas is lagging behind TCU, LSU as well. I actually would have thought he would have committed to Stanford a few weeks ago, but Chauncey Stuckey, Notre Dame's wide receiver coach, has gone all in here, and I think he gets some good news soon. I actually think James commits to the Irish before May. That's not locked in by any means, but if I had to put a pick in, I would put one in with pretty high confidence. Absolutely loved his visit to South Bend in Chicago. which he took just about a week ago. And I think that was enough to get a commitment. But nothing's official, nothing's public, nothing's private. We'll see, though. Jaden Greenhouse is next. Wide receiver from Austin, Texas, goes to Westlake High School, just like Cade Klubnik. He wants to take a visit out to Clemson. Texas is the close school. But Notre Dame, I think, has positioned themselves very well here. I think they lead, and I think they land a commitment sometime before his senior season. But that might be a little bit too wishful. Maybe I'm going too ND homer right now, because Texas and Clemson are definitely still in this, but Notre Dame is absolutely in the top three, and I think they lead. Rico Flores is next from Folsom, California. UCLA, Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, and ND are his top five, which he released just a few weeks ago. A little surprised to not see USC or Bama in there. But Flores, I think it's more UCLA, Texas, and ND in his top three. He's taking an official visit June 10th through 12th, I believe. Maybe it's the 8th through the 10th, but he'll be there, and all the commits will be there. That'll be the big recruiting weekend. Hopefully they get some good weather. But Rico Flores, I think UCLA's in the lead just by a tad, but long way to go. Malik Elsie is next, top 200 player, Michigan, Illinois, a few other schools here. If ND pushes, I think they land him. I'm not sure if they're going to push. Ronan Hannafin, I think ND wants him. I think he wants ND. I think he plays wide receiver at the next level. That's why I have him on here, but he could very well play rover or corner or safety or one of those positions. Probably not corner, actually, but probably safety or rover if he does not end up playing wide receiver in college. Offensive line. I have two things here, just if you're curious. Caden Proctor, it's a long shot. I don't think this one works out. I have him going to Iowa. Pasantis, got to get him on campus again. Really likes Coach Hested, but I think he ends up either at Rutgers, Penn State, or one of those Northeast schools. Samson Kanala has a brother at Pitt. That's why the future cast is so high for the Panthers, but just visited Michigan. If you're ND, really need to get him on campus. Sullivan Abshar, I think this one is down to Clemson, North Carolina, and ND. It's pretty close, but I think ND leads. Was blown away by his visit in late January. Him and his family loved their time. Dream school is North Carolina growing up, so this one is not over by any means, but he really wants to make a commitment before his senior season. He'll be taking an official to ND sometime soon. Monroe Freeling, actually from Oregon, moved down to South Carolina a few years ago. Clemson and ND are definitely the top two here, I think. Loves Dabo Sweeney, loves the program there, a little bit closer to home, but he definitely respects Coach Hested and what's going on in South Bend. He's visited twice now, and he'll be back again for the spring game. Same with Abshire. They'll both be here for the spring game. Sam Pendleton, next, offensive lineman, newly offered guy, so a new name for Irish fans. Penn State, Michigan, and Clemson are probably the three other challengers. I'm not sure how high ND is on his list, but they did offer, and Notre Dame rarely sends out these later offers. Pretty much now it's solely 2024 guys, and maybe some 2025s as well. But Pendleton is a very talented player, no doubt. I believe he's a top 150 or 200 guy. He's ranked a little low in my opinion, but I think he ends up at Clemson. Notre Dame just has to get him on campus. And now you see Cooper Flanagan. I wanted to include him, tight end commit for the Irish. One of two offensive commits for the Irish. That will slowly change in the next few weeks, but just wanted to give him a quick shout out. He's locked in with the Irish, even after picking up offers from LSU and Bama. But Austin, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, Struveld from Ohio. A lot of people think he's going to just end up at Ohio State. I'm not so sure about that. I think Notre Dame leads. He'll be on campus the first week of April for an unofficial visit. Notre Dame can really make a move there. He's a sneaky commit candidate. If I had to have one, really, really like him. 6'5", offensive guard, has some good weight on him already at 315, according to Rivals. Alabama is a school he likes a lot. Michigan he likes. But I think this one's pretty much Ohio State and ND, and don't be surprised if he ends up at ND. Really don't. That's definitely a sneaky commit candidate. Elijah Page is next. Kid from Pinnacle High School in Arizona, same school as Tosh Baker, current ND offensive lineman. Page just got offered a few weeks ago by Coach Easted. Oregon, Arizona State, Notre Dame are probably his top few. I like him to get out for an official visit sometime over the summer, but I think he has a few guys ahead of him. I think Austin Scrivell is ahead of him, Jagusha. I know Page is an offensive tackle, but numbers are tight. They just took 5 offensive linemen. You just can't take everybody. But Page is an absolutely talented guy. Reminds me a lot of Ashton Craig, who I'm a big, big fan of. Super athletic offensive tackle. And then Charles Jagish is last. This kid's a stud. I think Jagish is a top 50 player in the country. I've been saying that. Notre Dame is far and wide the leader in his recruitment. I think he ends up committing to Notre Dame sometime in the next few weeks or months. And he would be a great first offensive line pledge for Coach Easted and Tommy Rees. Charles Jagish is just a stud. I think he's the future first or second round NFL draft pick. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment if you have any Notre Dame football recruiting questions. And I'll see you guys